This is Tank's Vlog for June 14th, 2019. Before we begin, a little salute. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in the Toronto Raptors command. With glowing hearts we see true north rise, true north strong and free. From strong and right, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you, thank you, thank you! No more Steph Curry, no more Dubs Nation. The Toronto Raptors are your 2019 NBA champions. Oh, it's so refreshing that a super team broke down in the end. Now you got to feel sorry for the Warriors. There was a lot of wear on those tires. 5 straight NBA finals, and the engine just broke down. First, it was Kevin Durant's calf injury, which now is an Achilles injury. So, on his way to the New York Knicks he goes. We'll be sitting out a year and it'll never be the same again. And the Knicks will be stuck in Loserville forevermore and evermore and evermore because of James Dolan and his moronic ways. And wherever Kawhi Leonard goes, wherever he plays, if he goes to the Clippers, comes to Brooklyn, please come to Brooklyn. Please come to Brooklyn, Kawhi Leonard. We really would appreciate you more than the Knicks would, because the Knicks suck. But wherever Kawhi Leonard goes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he never plays another game in a Toronto Raptors uniform. He has done everything, anything that any fan of the Toronto Raptors can ever done. If I see one Raptor fan burning his jersey if he leaves as a free agent to come back to America, to come back to the Clippers, come back to the Lakers, come back to the Nets, come back to the Knicks, come back to any team in the United States, if I see one Raptor fan burning his jersey, he should be drummed out of Canada. He should be forced to live in Newark. I mean, come on. No matter what he does, no matter where he goes, Kawhi Leonard has done it for you up there in Toronto. And I know majority of Raptor fans will appreciate him, love him forever. They might even build a statue for him for one season, for it was him. Kawhi Leonard was the final piece. The Raptors had to ask themselves last year, after they got swept by the Cavaliers, they had to ask themselves a question. We're a good team. We're a good regular season team. They fired their coach. They named Nick Nurse the coach, the Hammer lookalike, Justin Hammer lookalike. You know what I mean by Justin Hammer. If you remember Iron Man 2, I forgot the actor's name that played him. But I think the Raptors coach looks like the bad guy from Iron Man 2. Tony Stark's rival, Hammer Tech. I mean, he really looks like him. I mean, dead friggin' ringer. I forgot the actor's name, but, it doesn't matter. He looks like Hammer. That's all I gotta say. And Kyle Lowry, he's had so many disappointment playoffs before. When they needed him the most, he had one of his best games tonight. 26 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 for 7 from 3-point range. And the Warriors, they died with their boots on. What else can you say? I mean, you've already lost Kevin Durant, and now you lose Klay Thompson to a ACL. I mean, in the end, the Warriors just had too many injuries, and they played the game. They gave it their all. They tried, but it just, when you break down this badly, there's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. You go to the playoffs 5 times, go to the NBA Finals 5 straight years. Eventually, you're going to have to pay the piper. And Klay Thompson, before he got hurt, was the leading scorer. In fact, he was the game's leading scorer with 30 points in 32 minutes. And with a torn ACL, as it turns out, he made those 2 free throws to keep them in the game and keep his possibility of playing the game. But, it's just, in the end, it was just too many injuries. Too many miles on the tires. Too much Toronto Raptors, and they deserved it. They deserve it, and go up there, all you fans up there in Canada, enjoy it, celebrate it. Who would have ever guessed that the Raptors, who at one time looked like, when Canada got the 2 NBA expansion teams, the Grizzlies failed right away. Raptors had some success, but every time they got a star, he left. I mean, it was Damon Stoudemire left, Vince Carter left, Chris Bosh left. But whatever happens now with Kawhi Leonard, he's a Toronto Raptor for life. For winning that championship, bringing the Larry O'Brien trophy up north. You just gotta, even if it was just 1 year, it was one wonderful year. I wish someone on the Mets would do that. All the Mets ever do is get losers. Fucking losers! As we transition now into baseball. This might be the most Mets loss of the year, and it is a loss. They're gonna lose. It's a suspended game right now. 4-4, bottom of the 9th inning. It's over. The Mets will lose. Guarantee it, 100%, 5 billion%, the Mets will lose this game. No fucking way they're going to win. No fucking way. And you know what's going to be worse? They're going to burn out their bullpen trying to win the fucking game. And then they're not going to win the second game. Their bullpen's going to be toast. The whole weekend, they're going to get swept by the Cardinals. Bye-bye. That will be just the last stake in the heart because this team is so moronically stupid. And Jacob DeGrom is the most screwed pitcher in baseball. This team just can't win for him. Time after time, he goes out there and he pitches his heart out. Time after time, they should win his starts. But nope, they never win his starts. If it's not scoring enough runs for him, it's the bullpen blowing it every goddamn time he gives them a fucking lead. And tonight was just the most maddening loss of the season. The rains came in the 8th inning. It rained harder. The Mets did in the 8th inning? They had their batters not trying to tack on. They hadn't trying to get out so they wouldn't lose the game, so the game would continue. It rained harder and harder. The umpires called for the turf as Edwin Diaz got set to warm up, and that fucking moron manager, Mickey Callaway, talked them into keeping the game going. Naturally, Ed Luz Diaz, that's his name. He's not Edwin Diaz. He's Ed Luz Diaz. He's a fucking loser. He sucks. Worst trade in the history of... It's the worst trade ever in the history of humanity. Jared Kelenic is going to be the greatest baseball player of all time because that's how bad this fucking trade is. But God forbid he didn't play. His agent was in CAA, so Brody Van Wagen and traded him away. He tried to trade Pete Alonso, too, from what I understand, because he wasn't a CAA guy. All he wants is his CAA guys. Jed Lowry. We'll never see Jed Lowry in a Met uniform. They'll only be paying him because he's never going to play a game. He's not even close to rehab. Not even close. It's June 14th. And he hasn't even played one inning. Not even in spring training he got hurt. And every time he's close to come back, out, oops, he's hurt again. Of course, his other client there, Jonas Cespedes, he might miss half of next year recovering from this multi-broken ankle shit after recovering from his heel deposits, which had calcium deposits, because he's always riding a fucking house and playing rancher. And then we get Robinson Cano, another CAA client. Edwin Diaz, CAA. Todd Frazier plays every day. What is he? CAA. And of course, Frazier's playing good lately, so. Ed Luz Diaz, that's his name. Ed Luz Diaz. And I like to formally apologize to Armando Benitez. Because you know what? Armando Benitez was never this fucking bad. Benitez blew it in clutch situations. The most gut-wrenching situations. The playoffs. The Mets will never sniff the playoffs with this loser, Ed Luz Diaz. Suck ass. Last year was a friggin' flash in the pan fluke. And the stupid Mets, yeah, okay, we'll make the trade. We'll trade you two good prospects. Oh, so fucking dumb. And Robinson Cano. We'll never see him again. He sucks now. He makes Roberto Alomar look good. Give us your old, tired, broken down players. We'll pay them. And now this is going to say to the Mets, well, we can't afford free agents. We got Robinson Cano to pay. That's the favorite line of these cheap-ass owners. The misery never ends. Guarantee. The game's probably going to go like to 11th inning. They'll bring in Jerry Familia, and he'll just be a dumpster fire, or it'll be Robert Gazelsuck. Gazelman gazucking another game away. This game is in the hand. You know, if they put the tarp on the field, you know what would happen? You know what would have happened? You moron, you idiot, you roaring, you stupid ass Mickey Callaway jackass. You know what would have happened if they put the tarp on the field in the ninth inning? The game would not have resumed. The rains were too heavy. The field was a mess. Do you know what would have happened? Mets win rain-shortened game 4-2. Game over, you idiot! And it's land of 1,000 excuses. Last month, when he blew the game in LA, it was, oh, Edwin Diaz has pitched too much. He's pitched too much. Yeah, I gotta watch his innings. Now it's, oh, he hasn't pitched in a while. A loser accepts all of these excuses. A loser. This is what happens when you have a locker room with no accountability. And Brody Van Wagenen, you are the village idiot. You are the village idiot. You fucking moron. You used car salesman. Jackass. Ed Luz Diaz sucks. Yankees, they haven't been playing well as of late. It looks like the injuries are finally catching up to them as they suffered a 5-4 loss in the first of a 4-game series at Comiskey Park. Not ever what the fuck they call it now. It's still Comiskey Park to me. As they lost 5-4. With Adam Ottavino, who's been struggling lately, and giving up the go-ahead home run. Braves beat the Pirates 6-5, completing a 4-game sweep. Atlanta Braves are red hot at the moment. It was the Twins 10-5 winners over the Mariners. It was the Blue Jays clobbering the Orioles 12-3. Zach Greinke had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning as the Diamondbacks beat the Nationals 5-0. It was Shohei Ohtani becoming the first Japanese player to hit for the cycle as the Angels beat the Rays 5-3. I didn't even realize he had a cycle. I screwed up my 3 stars. Oh well. I'll name a different 3 stars than what I put on my website. Ignore the 3 stars on my website tonight, guys. Xander Bogaerts hit a big home run as the Red Sox rallied to beat the Rangers 7-6. In a game played in Omaha, it was the Royals beating the Tigers 7-3. First Major League game ever in the state of Nebraska. It was the Rockies, with Charlie Blackmon hitting 2 home runs, beating the Padres 9-6. And the Dodgers were 7-3 winners over the Cubs. I'm so fucking pissed off at the Mets. Dodgers got some bad news as Corey Seager suffered a hamstring injury and could likely miss at least a month. Today's 3 stars are Kyle Lowry of the Raptors, NBA Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard, and we'll give it to Shohei Ohtani for that cycle. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Steffi Graf, who turns 50. And we take a look back to 1994, when Halley's Comet came by and the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. Check out the story at Barstool Sports. You know, you Ranger fans, you'll never see another cup in your lifetime. You had to do it with the Oilers players, so it was really the New York Roilers that won that cup, not the New York Rangers, of course. So enjoy it, Ranger fans. Enjoy that story, because you won't get to see another one. God, and that's pissed me off. Good day.